everyone, this is Arctic. We're in my bathroom right now and I'm about to dye my hair red. I always use Pravana because it's my favorite brand. It's what I've had the best results with. It has the least amount of bleed and it has pretty good bang for your buck because it's so pigmented. You can, put conditioner in it like I'm going to do, and still have really good color payoff. Obviously we've probably all tried the splat and instant color stuff. Like I said, Pravana is the best that I've come across. I've heard good things about Arctic Fox, but I've not tried it myself. I have a few other colors that, eventually I'll be putting on. I know I have green, blue, purple, orange. I have black and yellow by Kiss, which their black worked well for me, but their yellow did not so much. It did in terms of it was easy to apply. I got pigment from it, but it just wasn't very lustrous, and the colors changed a lot with lighting. It could look anything from bright neon beautiful yellow to really weird green. So they just haven't been super consistent for me, and it also leaves my hair splotchy because of the application process. They have you actually apply it when your hair is wet, and I prefer to have the option of applying it wet or dry and still have it work. So it just doesn't work as well for me. But like I said, I love Pravana. So I've been trying to figure out what to dye my hair lately because I've been kind of bored with it, but also not really indecisive and unsure what I was going to do. Can't really see right now, but it's got blonde at the bottom, which has been turning green, and then I've got my natural dark color for quite a bit of it, and I have a side shave cut which is growing out now, so it's kind of an awkward length. My hair is shorter than I'm used to in terms of dyeing it, so I know it's gonna be messier than I usually like to. I usually try to be pretty clean. I don't like to get a lot of stuff everywhere because I don't like to deal with the cleanup. So I do have gloves. I have my brush and container, and then I'm going to change into a shirt that I don't really care too much about, in terms of, it's not a go out in public type shirt. Probably can't read it, but it says, I just want to drink coffee, save animals, and do yoga. I agree with the first two, not that much into yoga. And then I have some hair clips, and I have a scrunchie because I can't find my normal hair ties. So yeah, let me mix up this color and then I'll change, and then I figure we'll just talk while I put the stuff in my hair, and we'll kind of go from there. Hopefully it turns out well. I put a lot of conditioner in here. I was not paying attention, so I'll probably save some of this conditioner to redeposit color in the shower, 'cause if it's a color that I want to keep for a long time, or if it just fades kind of funky, that's kind of my favorite thing, to kind of make sure that it's staying uniform and just kind of keeping control of it, because I have obviously bleached hair and I have some portions of it where the porosity is different, so it takes up color and fades differently. Right now it kind of looks orange, but that's still pretty cool. It's kind of like pinkish orange, I don't know, but it's kind of cool. Today I haven't been doing a whole lot. I've been mostly doing stuff around the house, doing laundry and dishes and stuff like that. That is Magic, my female cat. But after I dye my hair, gym and doing some workouts there. Those who don't know me personally wouldn't know. I've been trying to rebuild my strength, and that's been quite a long journey. As I have been going through treatment and recovery for some medical issues. So right now my biggest focus is to take care of me and my health, and like I said, rebuild, strengthen my body, and get as healthy and fit as I can for whatever the next chapter is. So let's see. This is kind of coming out like orange, because again, I added a lot of conditioner. So I might actually add a little bit of purple to it just to darken it up, because I don't want to waste a whole bunch of red. It is getting red though. It looks really pretty. It looks like frosting. Let me go ahead and get my purple just to darken it up a little bit, because I have a feeling that will fade weird, maybe I'm wrong. Right down here is my cabinet where I have all my random stuff. Not too much, because purple can be really overpowering. Hopefully that, I could just put a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully that will be just right. I think one of my favorite colors I ever did was a wine color, like a deep wine. But I did that with purple and orange because I didn't have red at the time. But it made a really interesting color, and I was kind of expecting it to be brownish because of the way that those colors would normally mix. But I guess something in the products that I used had the colors developing differently. So it didn't come out orange, it came out this gorgeous wine color. So let's see, that's the color now. It's a little bit chunky, which is not common for this brand. It usually blends in so far with like everything really smoothly, and that's one of my favorite things about it. It's because it's conditioning and it's easy to use. But I'm sure it'll smooth out when we're actually putting it in. All right, give me a second. I'm going to stitch my shirt and then we'll start putting this in. Okay, so I do have to wear my glasses because I don't have contacts with my new prescription, and it's a pain in the ass to put hair dye in without your glasses because it just gets so messy. I have a little mirror over here, which is what I'll be referring to. I like to do it in sections. And when I had longer hair, I did side to side. I usually actually start on one of the, like near the temples. On one side, I do that side, then go into the other. But with short hair, because it's short and it's difficult to really assess the back, I like to do the back and layer up and then do the side to side, because it's weird because I have quite a bit of regrowth. Obviously, I haven't bleached my hair in quite a bit, trying to give it a break. But I really don't want to miss pieces on the back. That's what I'm kind of most focused on doing thoroughly, because on the front, obviously, I can see. So I'm gonna just start by putting my majority of my hair up, which has to be pretty low bun because I'm trying to regrow my hair. Hold hopefully, theoretically. But I cut it again recently just to get it to be a ideal like shape for it to grow out, if that makes sense. So let's see. I don't know how much. Yeah, I have a little teeny bit of blonde at the very tips here, so I just have to do the ends for this bottom layer. Yeah, it's kind of like awkward lengths all around. Okay, so gloves aren't always. I like to take off any jewelry that I have because I don't want to risk staining it or getting dye somewhere in the middle or any of the intricacies. It's just easier because like you don't want your jewelry to tear your glove and then your hands get all stained. Okay, so my mixture is pretty liquidy, which isn't a reflection of the hair dye. Like I said, just my mixing proportions were off and I wasn't paying attention. But like I said, I should still get pretty good color. And I like to leave on the hair dye for about like half hour or so. Try to see. Don't have much blonde on this side, it looks like, but little bits. So I've already given up because of how short my hair is that I'm gonna get dye on my neck, like on the back of my neck. That's just gonna be how it is. You could put a towel there, you could put Vaseline, you could do, you know, a couple other things to try and prevent that. Again, it's easier with longer hair because you can just put it up or put it to the side. Or if you do have a towel, your hair is long enough to go over the towel and be taken off of your neck. But this is too short. I'd have to like wrap a towel right around my neck, which I'm just not gonna do. Okay, so like I said, I'm just gonna do the little tips, and I'm gonna use my fingers a lot here just because I don't think I need a lot of brush work or help here. And like I said, oh, that's already pretty. There are other, you know, ways that you can apply this, other patterns. It's just kind of a matter of finding what works for you and what you like, and what I think is a priority, or at least for me, is what's the cleanest, the neatest, the least frustrating, because it can get frustrating if you're doing your hair by yourself. And obviously you want this to be an enjoyable experience, you know. You're probably doing this for fun, or, you know, to make yourself feel or look good, and, you know, the experience is part of it, of, you know, transformation. So some people like to go, again, layers down, up, side to side. Some people do it in quadrants. You know, it all just depends on your hair, your preference. Obviously, if you have different types of hair and thickness and coarseness of your hair, it kind of influences that. Okay, so that layer is done. There wasn't a whole lot needed to be done on that. I picked a red scrunchie because I know it's gonna get dyed, and I figured, well, if it's already red, then it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I've been like kind of playing with the idea of shaving off the other side, but on the other hand, I'm trying to grow out this side, so I'm really torn because like part of me wants just like a 360 undercut, but on the other side, I just want to like grow it out because I miss having like longer hair. So let me know if you have any opinions on that, because I really don't know what I'm doing with my hair right now, because like, you know, I think long hair is beautiful and I think short hair is beautiful. I've had short hair for a little while now, and before this I had like medium to long hair, and I had to cut it short because I was having issues maintaining my hair. because of some of the health problems I was dealing with. So it was just easier, and also with the heat, it feels like a weighted blanket, and it just became burdensome and annoying, and I just didn't want to, always have my hair up. And that's what I was doing. It was always in a bun or a ponytail, and I was like, I'm putting stress on my hair, and I was like, I might as well just cut it off and then regrow it, or if I want to. And generally, I really like short hair, but I'm someone who likes a lot of change, and obviously hair doesn't grow very fast. So I'm like trying to do the changes that I can do, so hence the hair dyeing and bleaching and whatnot, because I don't know, I like variety, I like change. I think it can be healthy to have change. It can be scary sometimes depending on what the change is, but everything in life is temporary. You might as well enjoy it. But ooh, it's such a pretty color. Yeah, I've been kind of staying stagnant though with my hair, because I was like, I don't really know what color to do. It's like just real awkward. It's like all of it's awkward length in the side cut, awkward coloring. I was like, so when I ordered the red hair dye, I was kind of excited for that, because I was like, I think like green is nice, but it fades weird and funky, and it's hard to get out. And I don't know how it is with my skin tone. Like I go back and forth. It like really depends on how my makeup is, if it looks really good. Otherwise it's just kind of like, oh, you have green hair, and it's kind of weird. And blue is always a classic, but I've done blue so many times. Same with purple. Purple's a classic, and that's one that like I don't think anyone can go wrong on, because it's that neutral of the warm and cool colors. But I don't know, I just wasn't feeling like purple. I had lavender for a little while, and that was cool. I liked that. I liked having the like lavender to fade into like that like light steel color. That was really nice, and that's been a recurring color that I've done, because it's nice, and it's low maintenance, because you essentially wait for it to fade, and then it just becomes another look, and it's another cool look. So yeah, I don't know. The other thing that I have been wanting to get done, so I have a few tattoos right now. I'm waiting on getting my chest piece, and then I have a piece to be done. I have two pieces to be done on my leg. But a piercing that I've wanted for a long time, which I have my septum pierced, I have my earlobes pierced, that's about it, is the industrial, the bar across the top of the ear. That has been on my mind a lot, because I've wanted to get that since, I don't know, 15, something like that. Like, it's been a while, and I never did it, for, various reasons, either out of, having to look a certain level of professional. I don't wear jewelry at work, but when I was younger, where I was working, they didn't particularly like piercings, tattoos, color hair was a no-no, which was fine. But that's kind of why I pushed off, because obviously you want to be able to wear it continuously while it's healing. And I hadn't had that opportunity for a little while until, recently. Or it's just like a kind of financial concern of like, yeah, I could do that, or we have this more pressing matter to attend to, and it's like, yeah. It's adult stuff. The whole prioritizing what you're going to spend random money on. which is usually never end up choosing something for yourself. But, you know, I'm starting to get to the point where I might be doing that soon because I've been waiting for it and I'm looking forward to it. And it's not that expensive compared to like my other projects, like the tattoos. So I figure do one milestone at a time, and then, you know, eventually it all gets done. But yeah, so I don't wear my septum all that often, again, because of work, and then also the last year I haven't really worn it, so it kind of closed back up. And so last week actually was the first time I put my septum piercing in, for like a year, I think. So it was really tight fit. Didn't feel very good. Had to re-stretch it out kind of. I wasn't able to fit my normal like piercing or my normal jewelry. So that kind of sucks because I love that piercing. I love that look, even though everyone makes fun of me that like it, you know, anyone who has a septum piercing, somebody at some point made a comment about you being a bull or something like that, like make some sort of comment. Which I don't care. I love my piercing. I think it fits me really well, and like anyone who actually, like anyone who knows me or who actually like looks at it and looks at me, they're like, it is actually really flattering. Like, I gotta make my comment because that's just mandatory to point out that you got a bowl piercing, but it looks really flattering. So I'm hoping to start wearing that more often, because I miss it. And I'm gonna get my lobes pierced again. Not that they've closed up, but I want to get a second lobe piercing. And that's another thing, like the industrial, like I've been thinking about that since forever. But haven't gotten it done because I was going back and forth for a while if I wanted to get another lobe piercing, let that heal, and wait about gauges, or if I wanted to gauge my ears at all, or if I should just gauge them, figure out how big I want to get them before getting the second lobe piercing. You know, because I didn't want to compromise the integrity of my lobe, and I wanted to try and do the healthiest stretching, which now, like a couple years, I don't know, several years later, like since I was like all on into gauges, which I think they're really cool on people, I don't think I'm gonna gauge mine. Like, I'd already decided years ago that if I probably wasn't gonna go bigger than a 4, which isn't that big. But there's so many like faux gauge jewelry that looks so cool without you actually having to stretch. So I'm like, maybe I'll just stick to that. Maybe I'll just stick to the fake gauge jewelry that looks really cool, but I don't need to actually gauge them, because that is one thing. Like, I think it's cool if that's something you want to do, but I've met so many people that do not like gauged ears, and I'm like, well, whatever. You don't have to gauge yourself, like you don't have to have that, but you know, other people like it, let them be. So I kind of don't think, I dropped some. I don't think I'm gonna gauge my ears, just because I have the possibility of the look that I'm going for without having to gauge them. And I know like my close circle doesn't particularly like them, which would be kind of awkward. So, not that they really influence many of my choices, but you know, certain things I'll take into consideration just because. And then that's the other thing is like most of my like piercings and tattoos and stuff, I want to be able to conceal or, you know, not have to be an issue, not be prevalent. Like I can, you know, essentially seem like I don't have them that much. Like I have tattoo on the inside of my forearm. That's kind of the most obvious one, but like, you know, you don't have to wear your piercings, you don't have to put in the jewelry and nobody would know you have piercings. But if you have your gauged ears, it's hard to hide that, you know? And not that you necessarily should, but there's a lot of professions that kind of don't promote body modification just for whatever their, you know, their version of professionalism and whatever their client base is. You know, it's not necessarily something that they're looking for. And so that's been a big influence on not getting super obvious tattoos or super obvious piercings, just because I want to be able to, at any point, have a job interview and not have that be what disqualifies me. Just because, you know, obviously for everyone in this world, you know, your well-being and financial responsibilities are important to take into consideration. So I think this is gonna be really cool looking. Yeah, but I am looking to get my industrial, and I got, did I just put paint? No. And eventually I'm getting my bigger tattoos, which I've been waiting for forever. No, I don't want that piece. Oh, it doesn't want to go over there. Okay. So, go over there. Okay. That looks ridiculous. Yeah. I just guess I get very bored with my appearance sometimes, just because, again, I like change, so that's why I love hair dye, but I just get so like, do I want this or do I want that? And like, I'm not really the type of person that will spend a lot of money like at a hair salon, just because it's expensive. It's not, you know, really a necessity. Most likely I can do it at home, even though there are professionals that have been trained for it and probably will do a better job and can absolutely do more intricate jobs than I can at home. Like I said, it's just not a priority in terms of finances. So that's why I really like to do at-home stuff and at-home hair. And I think I've gotten fairly good at it because I've done it since I was a teenager. Like I would always like cut my own hair, dye my own hair, bleach my own hair. I will never do perms. Not that I have ever done it, but I just think those are way too scary. And I naturally have fairly curly hair. So it doesn't really apply to me anyways. I'm pretty happy with my hair texture. But I know I've had friends who wanted to get perms and they really wanted to do it at home. And I was like, that's not a good idea. Just go to a professional if you're gonna get a perm, because those are a lot more intense. Those are a lot more crazy chemicals. You could get really fucked up wave and curl patterns if you do it yourself because you don't know what you're doing. You can't see it, you know, from top down. So I feel like you could get really uneven results. And so that's like the number one thing I'm like, don't do that at home. Everything else, sure. I mean, you're gonna be the one to face the consequences if you want to cut your own hair, dye your own hair, you're gonna see the result, and then you may or may not have to go in anyways, just to get the problem fixed if you're not satisfied. And I think that's one of the things too, if you're gonna do stuff at home with your hair or anything, it's very helpful to learn how to fix your mistakes, because mistakes will be made at some point, and that is one of the most valuable lessons in life, is just how to fix your own mistakes and how to, you know, deal with them. And with hair it's no different, you know, because nobody wants a fucked up hair day. But at some point, if you're doing your hair at home, you're gonna get a result you were not expecting, and you're gonna have to go with it and just figure out what you want to do. Sometimes it's even cooler than your original idea. Sometimes it's absolute garbage, and you just gotta put another color over it. But looks like I'm getting near the end of applying my color. Like I said, I usually leave it on for about half an hour. I guess I didn't make as much as I thought in terms of application. I got stuff all over my forehead. Yeah, I hate having messy application, but sometimes it just cannot be avoided. I'm trying to think of topics to discuss, because I am not editing this video because I am both lazy and unskilled in that area. And this is a fucking long video. So I don't know. I think maybe fast forwarding's easy. Maybe I can just do that and spare you guys. Or you can just play the video at an increased speed. That is a possibility too. Like on YouTube, you can change the speed of the video that's being played. Just increase it to 2 times or something like that. So I don't like to usually use my hands to apply, but when I'm doing a single color all the way around, I'll just grab some to mix it back in, make sure everything's thoroughly saturated. That way I can also usually feel if there's dry spots, and then it also just adds the moisture of any of the lower layers that have dried out while I was applying the rest. The rest of this little concoction I'm gonna probably save again so I can use in my showers to deposit color. Ooh. Okay, it looks pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go shower, and then I'm gonna go shower and go to the gym probably. So, all right. Well, it has been a fun experience with you guys. Let me know if you have any ideas for what I should do with my hair next, or if you guys have ideas what you guys are gonna do, whether it's with piercings, tattoos, your hairstyle, or anything like that. I'd be curious of what you're trying. Yeah. All right. Well, have a good day, and I will see you later.